Haiti is the definition of a failed state. They have been destroyed by political instability, economic stagnation, and humanitarian crises for decades. Without a current leader, their streets are being ruled by violent gangs. It is also considered to be the poorest nation in the entire Western Hemisphere. According to the World Bank, over 60% of Haitians live below the national poverty line of $2 a day. Inflation skyrocketed to 43% last year, and they have suffered 5 straight years of negative economic growth. Their worst depression in decades. They are the lowest ranked nation in the Americas for the Human Development Index, and widespread slavery remains a pressing issue. So what went so wrong for Haiti? Was this their own doing, or did a state of constant crisis arrive from external factors? To understand this, we must quickly go back to their beginnings. Previously under French colonial rule, Haiti gained independence in 1804. However, foreign powers would cripple this new nation. To have their independence recognized, Haiti had to pay exorbitant reparations to France, estimated at 21 billion in today's dollars. For the next 122 years, up to 80% of Haiti's revenues went towards paying off this crippling debt. Then, the US got involved. Wary of growing German influence in the Caribbean during World War I, Woodrow Wilson ordered US Marines to occupy Haiti under the pretext of restoring political stability. However, during this nearly 2-decade occupation, the US imposed racial segregation, forced labor, and deposed leaders opposed to the American presence. An estimated 15,000 Haitians were killed in rebellions against the US. Haiti was a broken country at this point, so when the Americans withdrew in 1934, political instability became an inevitability. Decades of dictatorships, particularly under François Duvalier, saw heavy corruption and resource draining. He was ousted in 1986, but the following democratic presidents were removed in coups. Just 3 years ago, President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated, plunging the country into chaos. The Haitians have also had rotten luck with natural disasters. Located on a geological fault line, the 2010 earthquake killed over 100,000, with reconstruction costs amounting to $8 billion, surpassing their annual GDP. Aid efforts have been ineffective, with billions mismanaged or unaccounted for. It seems corruption has once again blocked hope of recovery. So with all of these compounding effects, how exactly can the Haitian economy function? Exports are extremely concentrated. Textiles, clothing, and agricultural products like coffee, mangoes, and cocoa make up a huge proportion of exports, going mostly to the US. They have dabbled in tech manufacturing, such as tablets, but the economy is still largely agricultural. 40% of Haitians depend on small-scale subsistence farming. Remittances from global Haitians make up 20% of Haiti's GDP. Foreign aid is about 20% of the government's annual budget. Unfortunately, there is nothing even mildly prosperous about Haiti. Poverty is widespread, but harsher in rural areas. Much economic value derives from the informal sector, where income escapes taxation and monitoring. Powerful cartels control these economic activities, which then deter foreign investment. Even in urban areas where stable jobs are more prevalent, constant gang violence creates almost uninhabitable living standards. The capital, Port-au-Prince, has descended into anarchy. Jailbroken inmates attack the international airport, stopping all flights to and from the country. Small businesses and vendors have had their money stolen and their buildings destroyed by petrol bombs. This has all but worsened the poverty crisis, creating a never-ending cycle. Violence makes essential goods scarce, so they rise in value. Then they get stolen, which creates suffering. This creates a fertile breeding ground for more criminals. It is perhaps the worst possible scenario a country can end up in. As bleak as the situation is it possible to fix this economy? First of all, anarchy must be stopped and democracy must return. The UN are in talks with Kenya to create a force strong enough to restore order. Once this happens, a similar crisis must be prevented from occurring again. Only then can they look to modernize and diversify their economy and lessen their reliance on agriculture. This recovery is possible. Take, for example, Liberia. They are by no means perfect, but they have shown how a country can rebound from lasting crisis to improve their economy. They endured over 2 decades of civil wars. Ending in 2003, economic growth that year was minus 30%. In the 10 years following, they averaged a growth rate of 8%. The poverty rate reduced from 60% to 40%, and they have enjoyed peace and relative stability for over 2 decades now. Despite these countries' clear differences, there is proof from around the world that it is possible to climb out of hopeless situations. Let's see if Haiti can do just that.